and CIS. I'm Gareth, joined by Lacoste, and we're straight into Game 2. Draft is ready, Lacoste. NIP have to put that one behind them, figure out what went wrong, try and group up together maybe a little bit tighter and faster, because VP, look at how quickly they're banning. Like, this is how quickly VP are playing. Just like, oh, you banned a hero, here's another one. Let's go.
NIP also doing the same thing. Like, someone's gonna mess up. There's still Ember Spirit in the pool. NIP got the first pick. That hero is really worth the first phase it. What he did and what he usually does. Like, having the earlier Spirit Vessel carrier, I think it's very, very important to have.
It makes a massive difference against, like, Morphling and Bristle. They take the Ember themselves. You also wonder about all the support heroes left in the pool, but very quickly, solo the position 5 Rubik that game. Very often we say Rubik is a position 4, and that's like the only role he really plays. But when you're picking Rubik into Earthshaker Weaver, you know that he's going to have really, high impact spells to steal, and solo made it work beautifully. So well worth a respect ban from the ninjas. Phoenix left in there with a Mars, so they're going to get their combo. They've left a lot of offlane heroes in the pool, so Resolution, Mars, and Phoenix there, still adaptable from position 4 and 5, and NIP still opting to go for that Weaver.
Yeah, seems like NIP wants to have Weaver against Phoenix. Have that egg hitter. You don't know which lane Weaver's going to go to. So this is their offlane, Mars, Phoenix. For NIP, you don't know where these heroes are going. I want to see some extra lockdown, either stuns. Disruptor is one hero that comes to my mind. Works very well with Mars. Just a combination, sure, and silence against Ember Spirit, Weaver, Glimpse back.
Yeah, Bane there, another good one. Solid ban from NIP. Also, pretty good teamfight combo with Disruptor, Phoenix, Mars. Just that trio of heroes from your support and supports and offlaner, giving you the majority of your team fight. Second ban for VP. They got rid of the Grimstroke in the previous game. There's a pretty solid Grimstroke ban here as well. With Ember and Weaver, that Inkswell has a lot of value.
Unless they're thinking it, maybe we want Grimstroke for ourselves. I'm not a big fan of Grimstroke plus another hero that doesn't have a real stun. Spear is not reliable. If you have Axe, then it's a different situation.
Okay. Shadow Shaman.
I'm loving it. You need some kind of hex. I was thinking about Lion, but we barely see a Lion. We see a Lion as a response to Naga Siren sometimes being picked up. You kill 2 illusions, and when you need some extra lockdown.
And now with those Serpent Wards, you really are here as VP able to choose where you want to fight, whether it's around objectives or in Roshan, Arena of Blood with Serpent Wards, and Supernova, tons of stuff to throw into the fight.
Color-coordinated lineup coming up from Virtus.pro. Man, I wish they had Ember Spirit.
Yeah, the yellow and gold working for them. Clockwork for NIP now. It's very good at getting in on top of Phoenix and Shadow Shaman. Try and start the fight, give you that vision so you know where VP are coming from.
It's a decent Clockwork game against Shaman and Phoenix, as you suggested, but Mars can easily spear you out of the cogs.
VP will have to show one of their real core heroes here.
Queen of Pain still available against Clockwork. Weaver sounds very good. Or, you can go Storm, Puck. All these 3 heroes very elusive. Ninjas in Pajamas don't have that much lockdown.
That's true. Any of these heroes that can kind of jump out of cogs. What about position 1 heroes that can get out of there? Like Phantom Lancer. Doesn't look too bad.
Phantom Lancer, what else is there? Oh, Phantom Assassin, maybe.
Like Lifestealer can rage and try and get himself out. Or he can go for that, Luna with the Hurricane Pike. It gives you a lot of tempo around this Shadow Shaman with the Serpent Wards. Oh, Void Spirit as well. Yeah, he's able to get in and out of fights.
I forgot completely about this hero. Thought he's banned out in the first phase.
And now we're looking at NIP, who have this limited catch, limited lockdown, relying pretty heavily on Hookshot and Ember Spirit with the Searing Chains. But they are still very flexible with their heroes, so they can move these into any positions they wanted, really.
You might not need to have like early lockdown for Ember and Weaver, but if Void Spirit gets Aghanim Scepter earlier, you have 2 charges of 2-second silence against 2 of these heroes. I still feel that Aghanim Scepter is a bit overpowered.
Yeah. It does feel that way. I mean, what are we looking at here? Era Clockwork. They might pull out that Seneko Weaver again in that position 5. Ember Spirit still open for the middle safe lane. I want to see Saberlight on a hero, like Doom or Axe. Something that's able to get that first item, the Blink Dagger or whatever it may be. Enigma or Beastmaster with that Necro or Helm, and really play around your Saberlight offlaner. I'm not sure Clockwork quite hits the mark in that regard.
Earthshaker completely ignored.
Left out in the cold. There's the Enigma. So that's what they'll be looking for, that first item timing. Play around this Enigma.
A lot of circles. Mars, Void Spirit, Enigma. What could they pick that pierces through Enigma's BKB? I don't think you have that hero.
And you cannot rely on Supernova to do it, that's for sure.
Just precast it.
Precast Supernova, yeah. That's a difficult question, honestly. They've already got Mars in that off lane, so they can't really pick up, a Beastmaster, for example. And the thing is, though, picking Enigma into Phoenix and Shadow Shaman, these heroes in lane can do pretty well dealing with the Eidolons.
I suppose they're looking for Charlie's hero. Virtus.pro thinks differently. They feel like it's going to be Ember Spirit. Huh. Why did they ban out Lina?
I'm not sure, but I feel like Ember Spirit with the Spirit Vessel Rush is more of the kind of Charlie tempo hero, and then Supreme, playing that position 1 from the mid lane, really, with his Morphlings and his Meepos and stuff. I'm not sure
it's a
about
very
why
good
Lina
Meepo game for NIP. There's still 1 pick for Virtus.pro, but it looks very, very good for Meepo.
They do go for the Lifestealer.
They have nothing that goes through a Rage, not a single ability, and if Enigma gets BKB, it could be a very big problem.
And now we're in a situation, Virtus.pro with its last pick, they've got that problem to deal with. They don't think too long before picking up the Morphling. So we're going to go for that raw right-click damage. No one Morphling. So he's going to be laning up against the Ember Spirit, right?
Yes. That's why they picked it. I mean, they could have put LTW on the mid lane. It's a pretty even matchup, Void against Ember. But this way, it's much, much better for Morphling. You really don't care about his harassment. You can't die unless you super overextend, make a mistake. We're talking about, perfect scenarios, but it could still happen.
VP making the most of it. Zayat Shadow Shaman. Going to be coming out here to pair up with that Resolution Mars. NIP still thinking about how they want to set this all up. And what are you looking at? Resolution with Zayats, ILTW with Solo. And it's going to be a Supreme Ember Spirit, Charlie on the Lifestealer, everything kind of slotting back into place. So they do keep Tsuneko on that position 5 Weaver and Era Clockwork. NIP, as long as they can play around Saberlight and make sure that they group up around him when he hits these timings, they should be in for a pretty decent game.
Also, one of the reasons why they picked Morphling, he turns into Lifestealer. You have a free BKB for yourself. There's also very nice spells to steal if you turn into Weaver, Ember Spirit, steal. I mean, just turn into him, have chains against him. Oh, man, Lifestealer could easily pop off in this game.
Yeah, he's got a pretty free game. VP are going to be really reliant on that, again, the trio of heroes they picked up first, Mars, Phoenix, Shadow Shaman, in setting up these team fights and really getting up in the faces of NIP. LTW Void Spirit there, and Supreme Ember Spirit. Two very elusive heroes. As we get ourselves into game 2 here at this best of 3. VP 1-0 up, but looking like a very solid draft from the Ninjas in Pajamas. A Resolution heading up top on that Mars with a Shadow Shaman. No one morphling in towards mid.
Shadow Shaman, 75 damage. And when he puts Fairy Fire in, it's going to be 79 per hit. Okay.
Balanced. Lifestealer buys a Ring of Protection. That's what his way of dealing with it, I guess. Get a bit of that bonus armor. Yeah. Try and keep himself alive through all of those right clicks.
It's also extra 6 damage.
That's true. Try and secure those last hits a little easier. And yet again, Resolution going to grab the outpost. And Zayats playing pretty far forward, going to scout out Supreme's Ember Spirit. There's 2 early wards coming out here from VP, top and mid. Solo's Phoenix being chased back by Era, NIP taking control of the southern outpost and a little bit of high ground there. Tsuneko telling Saberlight how to play. Get back there, go deny a creep. Always got to take that into consideration here, of course. Denying out farm experience from this Void Spirit is going to be key. Battery Assault from Era. Start things off with some really good harass damage onto Solo, and he's got boots on the Clockwork. Taking him down below half HP.
1 tango will do. And you're also sitting next to the tower, so extra regen will kick in. Solo needs to be careful about his positioning. Clockwork with boots. You can't just be in the jungle, try to trade hits. IL2W doesn't have anything skilled yet. Goes for Resonant Pulse to deal with these Eidolons.
Yeah, Fiery Spirit's used as well by Solo. I'm pretty good at handling them so far, but Saberlight has another cast coming now. Deny that range creep. Now he's got Eidolons back up. Era with a sentry, not quite... Solo with a sentry, not quite catching Era's Observer Ward. Pretty close, but not quite.
You're in over your head.
It looks like top lane. Tsuneko and Zayats trading hits. Doing a lot of damage back to each other. Charlie did drop to half HP as well, so Resolution kept nice and healthy. He continues to farm away like a boss.
Zayats expended a lot of his mana, needs to bring some extra regen to this lane. What is he bringing? A Clarity, another Sentry. Just want to be able to see Weaver.
Shackles
Spear?
into Spear. The right-click punches, he pops Rage and Fairy Fire, and Charlie will get away.
That
No
Fairy
salve
Fire.
here for either of them, though.
Keeping him alive. He's bringing salve and some extra tangos. if you don't have Sal coming up to you, it would be a disaster. Like, you would be farming underneath the tower, but still there is kill potential coming out from these two heroes. They also need to bring some kind of mana regen. We know that Mars got hit hard. Spear level 4 costs 140 mana.
Yeah, it's difficult for him. And Zayat gets the D-ward on the sentry there. So they're always going to be able to keep tabs on Seneko, and also, you know, Magic Stick on this Shadow Shaman are going to be getting charges. How's the mid lane going? 15-1, 13-1, pretty dead even. No one really bothered about that mid lane. Just going to be a farm trade for the most part.
You can't stop Morph from farming in this lane. Also, you don't have ways of removing Ember Spirit shields. So, what is he going for? Morphling going for bottle. Interesting. A bit of a change now that he's playing mid, so he can control the runes for himself.
Zayat's yet again forcing Seneko back. Completely out of mana now on the Shadow Shaman though. Clarity and stick charges as he tries to contest the pull. Might have opened himself up here, but Charlie doesn't want to contest too much. Yeah, Supreme, like you say, there's no way to get rid of this Flame Guard. No one. Just gonna have to try and CS under tower for the most part.
I like what they did on the top lane. Resolution pings it out. You farm these 2-3 creeps. Since Weaver pulled the camp, I'm just gonna be the one farming that, so they share some gold while Resolution gets the solo experience from that.
Yeah, and Rezo's the one contesting the pull across. Again. Taking down the majority of the creeps there. And again, a very quiet opening to this game. Saberlight, where is he? 12 and 14. Having a pretty decent start here, has his 2 Sage's masks, boots and stick coming out for your Enigma. Making a bit of a start here on the Void Spirit. Battery Assault and Malefice. Lots of little ticks of damage over time, but Resonant Pulse keeping LTW perfectly healthy. As top lane, a Spear from Resolution forces the Rage from Charlie. Zayat gets the Shackle out, but the open wounds have slowed Resolution down. They're trying to get the punches in, but Seneko focusing the Shadow Shaman. A good little God's Rebuke back, but First Blood spilled.
He had 4 stick charges, but you still would die there. So Seneko opening it up. Completely different game than game number 1. Oh, the 1-1-1 build. That's a lot of mana that Seneko needs to have.
I shall reconsider your worth.
Dissimulates away from danger. Saberlight was getting closer there. Oh, he didn't have mana for the Malefice, so never mind. Just Era putting on that pressure. Charlie raging again. Level
Sounds
2
like
shackles.
Charlie raging again.
He's not feeding down mid though. He's trying his hardest to not feed top lane. Shadow Shaman's causing problems for them.
Never refuse gold given.
Bounty runes for Supreme. As Morphling's bottle empty, trying to clear out that mid wave. 6-minute rune coming out, potentially gonna get remnanted forward, and yeah, Arcane Rune bottled by Supreme, and now no one kind of left stranded. Shackles onto top. Weaver gonna get speared up to the tree. No Shikuchi for another 6 seconds, and that's gonna be a beautiful little setup and kill by VP.
It's very important that Mars is getting farm here, and the levels. Once you have Arena, you should be able to just kill Weaver every single time. So Zayat should stay away from the XP and leave experience to Mars to get that level 6 faster.
It feels like all of these lanes, everyone's kind of just waiting and biding their time for the first big items, especially NIP. Wanting that Necro Book on Enigma, which isn't too far away. Shackles again onto Seneko. Charlie's going to come in and chase down Zayats, though, with open wounds. They force the TP. Very nicely done. Shadow Shaman's out of there. A lot of mana expended. And another...
to give him solo XP. TP out.
I wonder how much gold both sides have spent on sentries, though. It's like the 6th or 7th sentry we've seen in this top lane. Everyone trading them out as Weaver needs to keep that vision limited from VP so he can keep Shikuchiing around.
And Rezo just got level 6. With Soul Ring, you have enough mana to use the combo. Soniko keeps pulling the lane back on the top, stealing as much as he can.
Shackles mid. Ember Spirit got a remnant off, and it looks like he'll be in time to get back to his tier 1. Zayat's first rotation, trying to give no one a little bit more momentum there. I'm going to salve him up on his way through. As the 8-minute rune contested top by Soniko. Gets the swarm onto Zayats, but he just wants to try and grab that, and it's Invis rune for him. Era.
And Morphling is such a stupid hero, man. You feel like, okay, he's sitting at 30% HP, maybe I could kill him. Then he starts hitting you 3 times every second, and then you need to back off.
And then he heals up by like 600 HP out of nowhere, and you realize your battery assault did nothing. Full tranquil boots here for Saberlight. ILTW moving in towards phase. He did get himself a bottle on the Void Spirit. We've not seen too much action down there. It really just has been NIP securing their farm as the Morphling being scouted out by Soniko. No one pings him. He's like, guys, there's a bug here. How do we get rid of it?
It's a sneaky play. You wanna try to kill Morphling when he shifted everything, and you know he's gonna be playing on low HP. Someone could TP mid. Someone needs to die from Virtus.pro to TP mid and refill Morphling's bottle. That's the plan.
Looking at you,
here.
Solo. Solo, go dive in and die. It looks like they're trying to pick off this Enigma, trying to, again, shut down that Saberlight timing around the Necro, but they are picking him out. They know where he's lurking around. Black Hole ready for Saberlight, though. Could be an opening for NIP to TP and defend around the Enigma, but they've got the Shackles controlling up Saberlight and bringing him down before they get that chance to react. You can see how quickly Soniko TP reacted there. But good chain stuns from VP. And Lacoste, again, we're looking at this scenario where NIP have 2 supports, you know, level 3, level 4, sharing a lot of experience, kind of not sharing a lot of experience with their offlaners, giving a lot to their cause, while VP are closing in on 6s.
A Resolution is almost level 8 here. Arena still not used, but if he decides to make a rotation, it should result in at least 1 kill. But so, for now on, he'll just be farming. Other lanes are going well for Virtus.pro. No 177 CS on top of net worth. You really just don't kill Morphling right now.
I mean, he's able to turn it into Ember Spirit there. He tried to go and contest the rune, realizing that Ember Spirit doesn't have Searing Chains.
That will be his primarily target in teamfights for the next 10 minutes.
I've lost connection to the Dota 2 server.
That's very interesting. Bottom lane, LTW in a bit of trouble. They're playing with the catapult timing. Enigma, this should be a free Roche. I mean, Roche, what am I saying?
Well, LTW jumps in, they've got the Shackles from the right-hand side, and that's it. Enigma's down. Somehow Solo's still surviving. As I'm back in the server, thankfully we've got the Observer that I can watch. Solo does finally drop. Can they get the chains in here? Supreme? No chains still. Chain.
That's one way to play against the Morphling. Just don't get them at all, so he can't turn into you and use it against you.
And they do get the tower in the end as well, so Saberlight trading his life for Solo, as well as a tier 1 tower there being picked up by the Ember Spirit, so Spirit Vessel now just a recipe away.
Morphling might need to adjust his item build when he sees that Spirit Vessel. Like, you want to go for Manta style, but no one committing heavily, just buying Ghost Scepter.
Let's see what he goes for. Resolution. Giving Charlie the clicks. That's an Armlet Rush lifestealer, though, who turns to fight. But look at where Zayat is standing. Hex up onto Sineko. God's Rebuke, but no shackles. Zayat's not wanting to keep that fight going.
Lane. Resolution, thinking about using Arena of Blood. Welcome back, Gary.
Interesting.
That's mine too.
I bet we were both talking at the same time for the stream. I was still here. Just Discord lagged or something. I don't know what's happening, man. Where are we, Lacoste?
3-2 score. 13 minutes in. I want to see some action, some full Davai.
Oh, they're trying top with that Mars ulti. Arena of Blood there with a good spear, trapping them both inside the cogs. So Charlie and Era unable to give chase, and they've taken down Sineko. No one's rotation with the haste. He's got Battery Assault going, and the Clockwork, having his tools used against him, feels pretty bad. They're also diving for Charlie. Serpent Wards to try and focus the tier 1 and the creep wave as Charlie rage TPs. Nothing to stop him there. But VP focusing on the objective instead.
No abilities that go through magic immunity, so that they will have an issue with that one. So far, Charlie didn't die a single time, but his net worth is not the greatest. 4,000. I mean, same goes for LTWs. Both safe laners kind of got shut down in the laning stage, even though LTW had a harder lane, I would say, against Enigma.
And what's he heading into? Your Scepter, then towards Aghanims on the Void Spirit. Era, still level 5, 14 minutes in. 2 level 5 supports. They do jump onto Resolution with level 1 Searing Chains. Should be able to pick off the Mars here with the help of the Clockwork, trapping him in the cogs. No reaction from VP, nothing really to get them up towards the top lane. And also solo mid, having to dive away from Charlie's rotation, as NIP look to mount a defense of their mid-tier 1.
No one can't afford to play super aggressive right now. There's a full Spirit Vessel on Supreme, and here they come. They want to kill him.
Infesting into the Ember Spirit. Dire Observer Ward near that Mud Golem camp. I think it's scouted out solo, but they are going to go in on towards no one. Shikuchi forward. No one sitting at 700 HP. Spirit Vessel, and now the Waveform away with the TP. There's no more stuns. So good from no one. After the chains were expended, there was nothing.
Clockwork had hookshot ready. I mean, you can even try to use it on your own teammates, just to stun him up. Man, Saberlight, we were praising him, but in both of these games, it just doesn't feel like that's his hero.
And now he's walked into potential death. Supernova coming out from solo to zone back NIP, and the Dissimulate with the spear nearly taking Sineko down as well. The backstab from NIP, Era and Charlie, they're looking for a hookshot, and they will catch the Phoenix. He does have a dive, but he doesn't get too far away. Battery Assault going to stop him in mid-air, and Era will find the takedown on the Phoenix. Tried to deny himself to neutrals, but Era was there with the final touch as the Arena of Blood from Resolution looking to zone out Charlie.
We talked about Phoenix using Supernova preemptively to stop any kind of black hole attempt, and that's what Solo did. I mean, sometimes if it sounds stupid, it might work.
He knew he had that high ground advantage. Either you force NIP to take a bad fight, or you force them away, and then you've got these gap close heroes in that Void Spirit. Morphling and Phoenix. 6-4, slight lead for VP, but here comes some big items. Blink Dagger up for the Mars now. 50 seconds for his ulti. Serpent Wards ready for Shadow Shaman. Catapult Wave coming in top as well. The Supreme spots out no one. And they also infest into the Clockwork. NIP want to try and force a fight. Resolution.
Yeah, just getting hookshot.
Sidestep the hookshot. Arrow launches it into mid-air, whiffs completely. NIP still chasing into this Radiant jungle though. 2-man chains with a sleight of fist. Infested. Clockwork. Lifestealer not going to jump out of him just yet. Enigma did also come in here to try and defend mid lane as no one getting in behind them. They catch out LTW. They do finally get the pick off.
That's Rook mechanic against Morphling, against Phoenix, Void Spirit. Supreme will need to hit those Searing Chains. It's only level 1. Man, Saberlight, he's having a rough time in both of these games, actually. Full E-Blade on Morphling.
Yeah, helped out by Zayats. A lot of chain disable there with the blow up from the E-Blade now ready. And Resolution is going to go play up in that top lane while Solo, as you see here, just hiding away in the trees, diving away from any perceived threat.
NIP needs to talk about the item build. I see both Ember and Lifestealer going for Deso.
Yeah.
I mean, Ember Spirit can turn that into Maelstrom.
Maybe even think about an early BKB. He's had a good game so far, Supreme. LTW, on the other hand, not looking too great. It's been a difficult one for the Void Spirit. He's kind of the sacrificial hero in this game, it feels like. Virtus.pro are going to be really focusing to play around this no-one Morphling now. And with their teamfight combo ready, Supernova with Arena of Blood, it looks like they want to try and smoke out. Find a pick-off onto that, Enigma again to relieve this pressure. And Saberlight hasn't been able to make his mark in pushing out these lanes. Hasn't been able to join any teamfights just yet, as NIP also ready themselves. Up onto high ground, looking to break any smokes arriving. Zayat gets an Observer Ward down, but he's scouted immediately. And there's the jump. Trying to bring the Shadow Shaman down, and he's gone. Jump in, though, with the Arena of Blood. Beautifully placed. The E-Blade zapping out the clockwork. As Sineko forced the time lapse. Shikuchi's ready in a second, but he's blown up. Virtus.pro, the execution yet again paying off as the Supernova lands. Dealing with the Ember Spirit, who remnants away. Can we get any more catch? There's Resolution with a clumsy net, catching him out onto the tower. The black hole. Saberlight onto 3, and Charlie ripping away at BP. Morphling still up and running, though, and he's got an E-Blade if he wants to try and turn and fight this one. But a 3 for 3. Very even fight as everyone throws every single ability they had into the mix.
Invisibility.
Enigma with a very nice black hole turnaround. I'm happy that he's getting a BKB straight after a Blink Dagger, and that Philosopher's Stone is gonna help him out. Enigma doesn't really rely on dealing any right-click damage, so he's fine with just keeping that one.
Go for my master.
There's no saving items, no saving heroes on Virtus.pro, so if Lifestealer just gets on top of someone, that hero dies.
Yeah, they've got to be so careful with how they position in these team fights. As top lane, Zayats hook shot it up. Sineko was the one to get caught initially, but Era might be trapped inside the Serpent Wards now. There's an Aether Remnant to hold him in for a little longer, and LTW giving chase. Swapping out your position 4s.
As long as Morphling is not dying, everything's worth for Virtus.pro. He is the ultimate carry from the mid lane. LTW is just playing utility. Yule Scepter for setting things up, and the double damage on Morphling. What a great rune that he picked up. 500 damage per hit, hits 1.25. Okay, 0.40 per second. Okay, that's very good. I mean, Roche almost
There's
dead.
the Arena with a Supernova, though. Lacoste, they've blown up Supreme. The infested Ember Spirit trying to poke into Roshan, and Virtus.pro, 5 heroes strong, obliterate them.
So Morphling will have Aegis. That means that he can farm freely his next item. Doesn't care too much about that Spirit Vessel. NIP
playing very spread across the map. Sablight's down bottom waiting for his black hole to come off cooldown. Sineko and Era both closing in on that area too.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Shikuchi just trying to scout out, get a D-ward going. There's a TP from Lifestealer bottom. Looks like NIP really want to set up for something here. Morphling, he has TP. He can come down to the tier 2. Solo's going to try and clear out Eidolons, but there's the hook shot. Thanks to the Midnight Pulse, opening up the tree line. Dive in a second. He's got 14-1 charges, but doesn't even bother. Knew he was likely dead regardless of what happens.
Radiant are scanning.
Still very limited on the tower damage until Lifestealer gets that Deso, and they finally talked this through. They played rock, paper, scissors. Ember Spirit lost. He's going for BKB instead of Deso that he wanted to. But he definitely needs a defensive item for
Radiant's
himself.
bottom tower is under attack.
Absolutely does.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Plenty of struggles up against this Blink Shadow Shaman. Catchy with the Hex. And there's the Deso done for Lifestealer. As Seneko chases Resolution back behind the tier 2. VP smoking with both supports. They want to try and make NIP pay for this. The committal onto the tier 2 tower bottom lane.
Morphling is farming
Is under attack.
the whole top part of the map. Taking the tower. This is where the difference comes from. NIP needs to group up, go together if they want to take a team fight. While Virtus.pro is just like, we don't care, I'm farming on this Morphling, getting my Manta style done, rest of the team can play together, we're gonna take over the outpost so I have a place to TP to, and then we can still take a fight.
Yeah, and it's giving room to LTW to catch up as well. You know, working very quickly now towards the Aghanim Scepter. While NIP, their top net worth hero, was the Enigma for quite some time. BKB 1,000 gold away.
And it's a lot of time wasted. Lifestealer's just inside the clockwork for a very long time. He's taking the outpost, Lifestealer just chilling.
But at any given moment, no one just going to pop the E-Blade onto Seneko, take out one of the raindrop charges as Virtus.pro.
Charlie's still in. It must be cozy inside of Era's clockwork.
Very comfortable.
Rock it on.
And they're trying to set up here in case VP come and defend this tier 1 top. You know, you see the Enigma pushing there. Kind of expect someone to come and deal with it, but VP very happy just to trade out. They're getting tier 1 bottom lane, mid lane's being shoved in by a double damage Morphling.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Sunray to keep him topped up, and that's a tier 2 just annihilated as it looks like Arena of Blood tried to catch out the Seneko Weaver, but he's doing a great job juking away and cutting out waves.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Seneko still being chased by Resolution and
Radiant's
ILTW.
top tower has fallen.
TP
We
and
might see-
Shikuchi as top lane. Hex, Serpent Wards, and Shackles here for the E-Blade combo. No E-Blade combo. Just DD Rune, slap him down.
Now he's stuck, uses Manta style, tries to get out, but... Waveform.
Yeah, it didn't have a TP either, so that waveform. Get a bounty rune, and away he goes. NIP looks like they've stalled a little bit here. They wanted to keep that momentum going.
We might see
Virtus.pro.
more of position 5 Weaver.
There's the jump onto it. Position 5 Weaver gets the time lapse off, but Hexed immediately after, and they've got the chain disables to bring him to his knees.
You can easily ward, you can get more farm, like Weaver gets farm priority in this one over Clockwork for sure, and you can outpush the lanes
Top tower is
when
under
it's very
attack.
dangerous. You need to be that hero. And you can
And then
see,
you
like, Arena, they try to kill him with that. I think Soneiko doesn't care about his stats at the moment.
Yeah, and then you become a saving hero as you get that Aghanim Scepter, right? So you add another layer to the hero with just one item. Virtus.pro, though, it feels like they've really taken this game by the horns.
Radiant structure.
Enigma with a full
Exactly.
BKB should not be underestimated. They have no abilities that they can stun Enigma with. Aegis will be
Hookshot
gone in
missing.
2 seconds.
Arena of Blood just catches 3 of them. The Rage allows Lifesteal to walk straight out of it as Resolution focused down, but the Supernova on the
There's
right-hand
the black
side is going to
hole.
zone him out. The Black Hole is going to get cancelled out. The Supernova needs to be focused down. They don't get it done, so Saberlight, he misses out as the Midnight Pulse still ticking them down, but no one stands his ground, battles on through as the BKB from Ember Spirit wears out. Now back towards Zayat. He's already spent all his abilities now, and great Searing Chains from Supreme, catching out ILTW. He needs to Astral Step down to the low ground, and NIP forcing the buyback from Zayat, getting the dieback on that Shadow Shaman, fighting on their own high ground, taking the fight. As no one, he's TP back home. Void Spirit's gonna have to try and do the same thing. Oh, they don't see him.
Wrong way. That's the problem that we discussed during the draft. Nothing against the Lifestealer's Rage. 0 deaths on him. Like, you can't just make a rotation. Same goes for Enigma right now. Even though it was not the greatest black hole in the history, you still catch the morph. For that duration, you can deal with the rest of his team. And Saberlight's just chilling, you know, keeping that Philosopher's Stone, going for a refresher. He will get it eventually.
And they've got 3 heroes that don't... Oh, nice attempt by Rezo. NIP have 3 heroes, basically, that don't care about Arena anymore. BKB on Ember, Enigma, and they've got the Rage on Lifestealer that just walks straight through it. But Virtus.pro now, knowing that Black Hole is down, they want to try and exploit this timing. Serpent Wards are ready, Arena of Blood is back up, and Supernova in 15 seconds, they're ready for round 2 and straight into the same position yet again. Lifestealer infested in the clockwork. Still just roaming around here. He's Lifestealer, you know, still 10k net worth. He's keeping topped up. And I guess that's, you know, in part due to the fact that Saberlight is soaking up so much of the net worth anyway. And keeping this game very close.
It reminds me of the V-Play video where Spirit Breaker and Lifestealer are just chilling in the car. That's what Era and Charlie are doing right now.
You got some 70s effects, some vaporwave music playing. Just chilling. Era gonna find Zayats here, it looks like. A very quick hook shot into Infest Bomb. E-Blade and Adaptive Strike gonna catch Era's Clockwork, so they're gonna trade 4 for 4. Position-wise, anyway. Well, that's time for Black Hole to come back off cooldown now. Saberlight's ready yet again.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Lucian does Arena around NIP, but again, they've got Rages, they've got BKBs, and Mars not able to stand his ground against that. And with Roshan potentially respawning now, it's 1 minute until he returns. NIP can put themselves in a great position now with a Dire Observer Ward scouting out Void Spirit, and also this Morphling turning into Weaver mode, and Solo's Phoenix showing themselves bot lane. Oh, NIP are chasing.
No one thought maybe
that courier has been killed.
I'm a bit worried for Virtus.pro. Like, you have nothing that stops BKB Black Hole. He'll get good one eventually.
Solo forced the Supernova to get away from Saberlight. Can they get the slight chains? Supreme trying to aim for Solo. He's got an Icarus dive to the north. He can't TP now, can he? Malefice will connect, and that's the end of the Phoenix. As mid lane, they've got the Shackles here onto Weaver. Zayats has spent his Serpent Wards again to try and solo kill, but that's not worthwhile by any means.
Also, I want to see a defensive item. I see Phoenix going for Lotus Orb, which is a pretty big deal, but Shadow Shaman could get something like a Force Staff to push people out of the focus. Great against Lifestealer, great against Clockwork. I don't think you can itemize against Enigma. Maybe get a Basher on someone, but who? Like, Mars wants to get a BKB to have ways to dispel himself against the Spirit Vessel. Spirit Vessel is the greatest item in Dota right now.
Void Spirit, I guess?
He
Void
could,
Spirit, Abyssal
yeah.
Blade. Morphling now, aiming for Butterfly after that Eye of Skadi. No one is the strongest hero on the map right now. And Roshan's alive. Something that Virtus.pro definitely excel at is fighting around that Roche pit. I'm a little disappointed in Zayat's Shadow Shaman. You know, 4 or 5 times he's using these Serpent Wards to try and solo kill a Weaver, or, you know, placing them down.
It really isn't.
When really he could be, you know, pressuring tier 3, moving himself onto the bottom tier 2. Anything apart from trying to solo kill a Seneko Weaver.
Next Roche, respawned. This is where you take a fight, and whoever wins it gets free Roche. How are we buyback wise? Ember, Enigma, Mars, and Weaver have one.
Radiant
Scam does hit onto NIP, so Virtus.pro know this is coming. Resolution did get spotted by the Observer Ward, but they jumped Solo Phoenix straight off the bat. He Lotus Orbs up, but he's gone. NIP still looking for the dive onto Void Spirit. ILTW hiding away in the trees. But with Phoenix gone for 40 seconds, this could be Roshan time. Arcane Rune for the Enigma. Oh, is it going to be Supreme? Okay, Supreme takes it. Virtus.pro still want to fight. Solo has drawn the line. Go without me, team. I will lead you even through death. He's the remnant there, but in comes the Ember Spirit. Quick slide chains, there's no one. Battering away into Charlie. They've got the Arena of Blood down, but the focus onto Resolution. Bringing him low as Supreme's BKB, allowing him just to stand there and whack away at the Mars. The blow up in the back as the Enigma does drop though. Virtus.pro have got their target down beautifully as they now move on to Supreme, a Slight and a Remnant down to the low ground as Charlie focused down the Shadow Shaman. Mars has brought back and no one. He rages up into Lifestealer mode. The Morphling, he's being silenced up though. Manta stars it off. He's got an E-play to play with, still alive somehow. No one turns the fight. Nearly blows up the Weaver, but he's been isolated. Solo needs the Sunray there, and he's going to heal up no one. He's being bought more time. They've got a Lotus Orb to play with as well as Resolution's buyback. No one is still just dancing around this fight thanks to that Essence Ring. Era brought down by Rezo and Solo, but Charlie, he's going to whack away into this Phoenix as a spear, catching the Ember Spirit. Chain stuns him up with a God's Rebuke, but it's not enough physical damage. No one dies as well in the back end to Sableye. Was that just a black hole out of Enigma? Sableye did, but Sableye had already used Black Hole, that's why I was wondering what had happened there. Somehow finding the biggest kill on the map. Resolution in again with the Arena of Blood. Sableye, he is very low, he did buy back earlier on, but he looks like he's just fine. Clumsy net again, and Resolution is the one that dies back. What is happening?
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Two.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Charlie having the perfect game. And now they're looking to claim that tier 3. ILTW hasn't really been able to make an impact in this game. Void Spirit at 5, 3, and 7, just spamming out Ether Remnants, trying to delay this push, but the melee Rax is down. NIP shifting focus onto the ranged, still another 5 seconds for Morphling, and this is where they'll back away.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Lacoste, you need to reconnect to the call. Not Discord, but the other one apparently. So Roshan here for NIP. Virtus.pro coming in with Solo, diving forward, and Supernova in a great position, but the instant focus from NIP gonna bring it down. No one on top of Supreme, he's got the right clicks there with a black hole from Sableye, beautifully placed, catching both cores of VP. You are beneath me. NIP with a gorgeous initiation from Sableye there, catching Virtus.pro completely off guard.
Yeah, we mentioned it a couple of times, even during the draft. This Lifestealer with Rage is uncontested. You can't kill him. There's not a single ability that goes through Magic Immunity. Same goes for Enigma. And he's very, very close to that refresher. Now Cheese and Aegis. I believe we're gonna see game 3 here, Gary.
It looks like that's the way it's going. NIP unstoppable now. 50 more seconds without a Morphling. That's going to be another lane of barracks. Virtus.pro trying, scrambling everywhere they can to hold on to this game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Era with a full pipe. Blink Dagger being delivered to him now. More initiation abilities for NIP.
Radiant's top barracks are under
As Sableye very close to that refresher orb.
Radiant's top barracks.
But right now, items don't matter that much. They've got 2 lanes of barracks and they're actually focusing tier 4s. Catapults coming, Eidolon's Necro units all trying to focus in onto the objectives. Supreme does get the chains on Solo, but immediately Lotus Orbs it off. They get a tier 4 and they infest away.
If you want to end the game right now, what you could do is pop Refresher on Enigma, even though it's not needed, and put it in the courier, so they don't know that you have refresher. But they're just gonna back off.
Refuse gold given.
It's gonna be up in 40 seconds. The threat of 2 black holes is much better than just 1.
No need to risk anything.
Yep.
VP gathering up to defend their bot lane. No one with 2 deaths in a row in these team fights. Slowed down tremendously. Doesn't have the butterfly or anywhere near it. As this Weaver now has the Blink and the Aghanim Scepter. So save potential for Seneko.
This pleases the master.
There is no counterplay to it. That's the problem. Enigma blanks in, only thing you can do is watch.
That's why VP trying to spread out across this tier 2 as best they can. To simulate away, they see the TP from the Morphling coming in as he rages up, but there's Saberlight with the Blink. Midnight Pulse doesn't black hole. The jump out from Virtus.pro trying to kite away NIP and their BKBs. They've blown up Zayats in the back end of the fight, and the Mars ulti is here with a
Found
Supernova. It's
Enigma.
well placed. They've got the time lapse, and there's the black hole. Beautiful, and GG is called.
GG
They
straight
knew
away.
it was over. As soon as the black hole's fired, it is GG time.
Yeah, man, I love
But
Noah.
time lapse.
He understands the game is over. He's spinning in the black hole, being sucked in, types GG with the caps lock, understands that nothing they can do in this game anymore. Also, Shadow Shaman using Serpent Wards multiple times just to try to catch Weaver, didn't do so. Like, you don't even get the return kill sometimes instead of trying to go for high ground. Enigma could do whatever she wanted. Same goes for Lifestealer. 0 deaths on Lifestealer. It was a 10th pick. Nice, and this shows why.
Perfect game from Charlie. There we have it. I mean, VP, they felt disjointed that